This is a sound that most auto enthusiasts can listen for the next few minutes. I don't need to speak anything, but for the sake of the video, I will. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Porsche GT4RS, the most hardcore Cayman to ever exist on this planet. Probably the best and the most driver-focused Porsche on sale today in India, and also one of the most hardcore cars in the world, that is a race car that is road legal. So what is the 718 Cayman GT4RS all about? Well, this is a breed of car that's dying, that is hard to find these days, in the days of small turbocharged engines or electric cars with massive torque but no soul, or artificially pumped sound through the speakers. I mean, I can go on. The list is endless about what's going wrong with the automotive world. But this car, my friends, is what sets everything right. Well, I've got a turn. Let me just lift the suspension. Now, this is a button that you will be using a lot if you buy this car, but it's a big if, because getting an allocation in the first place is very hard. You just can't walk into a Porsche dealership and order a GT4RS. You need to be allocated one, and you can't be allocated one till you have a lot of Porsches. So yeah, it's a very limited car. But let's get back to the car again. Now, this is a car that Porsche engineers took in their hands and said, how can we make it go faster? But not just faster, make it a pure experience in terms of driving. So first of all, remove the Cayman engine. They took the engine from the 911 GT3, and someone had this brainstorm that, okay, let's take the GT3 engine and put it in the GT4RS. Now they realized the Cayman is not large enough to accommodate that engine, so they had to work around. They had to change a bit of components. They had to change the design, the setting of a lot of things, including the angle of the engine, the exhaust, a lot of bits. Finally, they crammed this engine into a 718. Then they gave it all the bits that it needs to become a proper race car. The suspension, the chassis, all of those bits, the tires. Yes, if you compare it to the GT3, it has lost 10 horsepower, and as a result of that, this is now 500 PS, 450 Newton meters of torque. Now, it might not sound a lot, but trust me, for a car that is this light, it is a lot. And just to give you an idea of how light this is, well, this is a car that comes with the Weissach package. Sounds so German. And the Weissach package, which costs about 32 lakh plus, will give you a lot of carbon fiber parts, carbon fiber hoods, more carbon fiber panels, also magnesium wheels and titanium exhaust tips. In fact, the focus on weight saving is such that the car doesn't even have door handles. So what you get is a fabric strap, yank onto it to open the door from inside. All of these racy bits, they reduce the weight, give you more performance, also make your car look more racy. So, and a lot of other things are optional on this car. You know, the brakes, 16 lakh plus. These are ceramic composite brakes. Even the paint is about 6 lakh plus. So the list just goes on and on. But the performance is just mind-numbing. I mean, off the line, no lag. There is no turbocharger. It's a 4-liter flat 6 pure naturally aspirated engine that is developing for 500 PS. So all of it is there at your disposal. At the moment you press the right foot, you have got all of it. And that's the beauty of naturally aspirated engines. And this sings a track that will touch your soul like nothing else. It accelerates violently. I mean, even when you're driving it normally and you just mash down the throttle, the traction light comes on. It struggles to keep the car in a straight line, and once the car finds its footing, it goes off like a rocket. And in the process, it makes a sound that is unmatched, and it sounds like this. No orchestra in the world can beat this music. You don't need the bloody music system in this car. You just need to listen to this. Forget how much fuel you're burning. Doesn't matter. This is one of the few ways a human can obtain nirvana while being on this planet. That's how good this car is. Now about the sound, I said it's a naturally aspirated engine, brilliant sound, and what makes it better is that it's got extra air intakes and the air box is inside the cabin. The engine is right behind me. So all of this sound naturally is playing right behind my head. You get to listen to it a lot better than many other cars. You feel as if you are part of the mechanical action. That's how raw and mechanical the GT4RS is, and that's what makes it a car of a different breed altogether. And the gearbox, it's paired so damn brilliantly to the engine. The shifts are lightning quick even when you're driving it in automatic mode, but once you put it in sports mode, the transmission is even quicker, holds on to the revs, is more aggressive, and if you want full control, well, you've got these brilliant paddle shifters. Plonk it into manual and enjoy the drive. Now coming to the chassis, the handling, well, there is a lot. I can go on and on for the entire day, but unfortunately don't have that much time. But yeah, the suspension is brilliant. Of course, you've got the lift system, so you will need that. You can't go around much except on a racetrack without that. So on the roads, you need that lift every time you encounter a speed breaker or a bad patch of road. But yes, with that you can manage most of Indian roads. Beyond that, the suspension is just phenomenal. Of course, with the touch of a button, you can change the setting. You can even put the chassis into a sport mode. You just press this button and it goes into a sport mode. Press it back and it goes into normal. So it's really stiff, and it's, like I said earlier, it's a hardcore racing car that's legal for the roads. So don't expect it to be comfortable. It's not built for that. The steering gives you great feedback. These composite brakes that I spoke about earlier, brilliant bite. The kind of stopping power these brakes have is just massive. And around corners, oh boy, she doesn't mind dancing around corners. It's got great grip. These tires, the chassis, the way the car handles, and almost no body roll. It stays flat because of that stiff suspension setup through the corners. It just whizzes past corners, and that's what makes it such a great car. I mean, it's built for the racetrack, but you can experience that thrill and fun on the road also. And in case you're wondering that, well, how does it perform on a track? Well, I have driven this recently on the track as well, and here's some footage from the video. And I can tell you that on the track, the GT4RS is a different beast altogether. It's like the proper arena where you can unleash all the power it has, and there it transforms into a beast that will give you the experience that very few cars on the planet can. Now when it comes to the exterior design, the GT4RS looks exactly the way a racing car legal for the road should look like. It's got all those racing bits. It's a hunkered down car. It really looks forward. You know, all the weight is up front. It has got a lot of kinetic energy. It looks like it's in motion. It's got these brilliant alloy wheels, a big wing which gives it racing credentials, and then again you've got a lot of these air intakes which show that this car is all about performance. So the intent is very clear. You also have a lot of these carbon fiber parts, and the weight saving is to such a level that Porsche has not even used an emblem. They have used a decal instead for the logo, saving weight wherever they can. So let's also have a look at the cabin, and that means you'll need to get inside, which is not really an easy task. You need to be fit enough to get in and out of this car, but look at it this way. This is a car that will give you the motivation to stay fit. So it's good for your health. Step inside the cabin of the GT4RS and what you get is exactly the kind of cabin that you expect from a race car. It's got all the track credentials written all over it. The seats themselves, to start with, you look at the seats, they are proper racing seats, bucket seats, and they've got the racing belts also, in addition to the normal 3-point seat belts. Beyond that, if you look at the cabin, well, there is no leather or some fancy luxurious material because this car is built for the track. So you've got a black Tex-Mex, that's what Porsche calls it, material, which is like a velvet fiber kind of a thing. Again, you've got these carbon fibers inlays here. You've got a small screen that does a fair bit of stuff, but frankly, I mean, it hardly makes a difference. I think the music system itself is one of the most useless features in this car, because if you're buying this car, all you want to listen to is that gnarly exhaust and the engine. But the steering wheel itself, the paddle shifters, placement, the ergonomics, they are pretty much spot on. And that's what you expect from a Porsche. It's built around the driver, and that's what you feel, that the car is just built around, it's wrapping around you. So it gives you that proper driving confidence. Now, before I go on and tell you more about the performance of this car, well, let me tell you, this is a video, and all the videos that we do about such fantastic vehicles come from our heart. So this is a car about motoring enthusiasm. And if you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel, press the little bell icon so that all the hard work that we put in can reach to you and you can enjoy it, and do share it as well. Well, time is running out and this video also needs to end, but the price, well, it's about 2.5 crores ex-showroom. The options that this car has add another 80 lakh plus, so it's 3.2 crore plus ex-showroom, this machine. Now, is it worth it? Well, for machines like this, it's very hard to define worth. It purely depends on the person who's paying it. For me, if I had this much money, this is worth each and every penny. Why I say that? Well, like I said earlier, this is a dying breed of cars. It is pure. It just connects to your soul. Everything in it feels so raw. You can feel each and every part of the car. You feel yourself to be one with the car. Something that very few modern cars offer.